flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a glory forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, fellow Amazonians. Once again, you are welcome to your favorite program, County Roots, with your humble servant, Komfo. And tonight, I am honored with a senior comrade as a host, who is going to be with us here in a minute from now. But however, before I go ahead, I would like to apologize for our absence last week. You know, our revolution is not free from other challenges. Yeah, for some technical reason, we could not be out there last weekend. We apologize for that, but we are always trying our possible best to make sure that we come here so that we can get connected again. So thank you once again for tuning in. Please do well to share and invite as many people as you can, because this is the people's platform. So invite and share on the various platforms. Remember that ABC Amber TV is the people's platform, is a revolutionary outlet, and we cover the entire sub-Saharan Africa. So please share, invite, so that we can share the Amazonia plight to the international community. We can get our people, we can get connected to our people. And today we are actually running a very exciting two-part program, where the first part is going to be touching a very sweet part of our culture, which is going to be presented to us by no one else but our senior comrade who is with me here tonight, Comrade Nkimbeng. So, Senior Comrade Nkimbeng, you are welcome to County Roots, and thank you for accepting our invitation. Dear televiewers, once again, you are welcome back from the short break. So, like we said before, there are always challenges that we face as we go through this revolution, but something can always be done. Unfortunately, we are unable to get the image of our senior comrade, Tata Nkimbeng, but the good news is that he is going to speak to us over the phone. So whatever thing he has for us, he is still going to deliver. So thank God there is always an alternative, and we can always make our way through. So the way to Boya is far, the way to Boya is tiny, the way to Boya is really thin, but the truth about it is that we are going to make it home. So I would like to try again to see, let's see if we can get him on the call. Once again, you are very welcome to County Roots. Tata Nkimbeng, thank you for accepting our invitation.
It's my pleasure, Nimo, Komfo. It's a privilege. You are the most beautiful Amazonian woman on the face of the world right now. So I am so glad that I hope my voice bring comfort and peace to our brothers and sisters, those in the homeland. And if you could please permit me, may I just ask that we pay just a minute to honor those who have given the ultimate prize, and those who are suffering, those who are in the forest under every conditions, to respect them and ask God to give them power.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Tata Nkimbeng. You are just on track, because it is the tradition of this platform. We never start doing anything before we think of honoring our people back home. So we want to give you the honor to do that, to observe a minute of silence in honor of our fallen heroes and our suffering people back home. So over to you, sir.
Well, as I mentioned, for our brothers and sisters on ground zero who have paid the ultimate price, and for those who are suffering, those who are sick, those who are detained, and those who are in refugee camps, and all Ambazonians around the world, I'd like to invoke the God of Ambazonia to look over all of us. Thank you very much, Nimo Comfort. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Tata Nkimbeng. Once again, you are welcome to County Roots. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Fellow Ambazonians and dear televiewers, please could you just let us know if you can hear Tata Nkimbeng before we go ahead. I want to be sure that everybody is hearing him, since you can see him, but you will hear from my own end. His voice is passing through my own set. So please just indicate, let us know if you can hear him, so that we should not be talking to ourselves, two of us. So thank you once again for honoring us, our invitation. And I would like to give you this time, Tata Nkimbeng, to send out a word of greetings to fellow Ambazonians and our dear televiewers. And why not use this opportunity to let them know who you are and your activities in this revolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nimo Comfort. I am a humble servant of Ambazonia, and I came up from humble beginnings, and I quite remember it still echo in my ear, the voice of His Royal Highness, the Fount of Mancon. When I was growing up, he always said, son, your culture is your identity. And it is nothing so befitting that you have dedicated this program for us to pay homage to our culture and celebrate our identity. Well, a little bit of my son, I was born in Mancon. I grew up in Mancon. And actually, I am a son of both Cameroons. I grew up in Mancon, and I grew up in Jombe in East Cameroon, then La République. So I have left, I am out of Cameroon, I am out of Ambazonia, out of Africa for many, many years, but Africa flows into my vein. So anything else you want to know?
Yeah, there's something about you concerning the Lowell Council, the Lowell City of. We really want to know your activities with the Lowell City. This is of interest. Ambazonians really need to know the type of people we have. So if you can tell us in your own words, please.
I have been in Lowell, fortunately lived in Lowell more than I lived in Ambazonia. But when I came here in the early 80s, having grown up in Mancon, and I was taught that you always have to be active in your community. Don't let others work for you. So when we came here in the early 80s, there were very few Africans. So what I did with the others was to, in 1992, we formed the Cameroonians of Lowell Association. And that was one of the first African organizations in here. So we rallied and supported the Cameroonians and the Africans. And that went along and became very involved in the community here. And I always try to make my African culture and my Cameroonian cultures be my identity. So I was involved in a lot of civic duties. Then there was a problem of diversity and immigrant understanding with the police here. So I had to volunteer my service with the Lowell police and to sensitize them about the immigrant perspective For example, with us in Cameroon, everyone knows you get out of your car to go and identify yourself, show your license to the police as a sign of respect. But here in Boston, that can you can be killed. And when I confronted the commissioner of police and the police, that was something new to them. So with that the commissioner of police actually brought me in as a volunteer, so I was able to work with the police, and he saw that my contribution was valuable, and they used that to train the police here in Massachusetts, and I accompanied him to do a presentation about immigrant cultural diversity at the Justice Department in Washington, D.C., and I also traveled with him to speak to chiefs of police, the Eastern region, New York, going to Boston, and also I attended the chiefs of police conference in the Western Zone in California with him, and that actually sensitized the police to be able to understand the immigrant population if they have to perform their work well. And that earned me so many awards. I got I'm the first African to be awarded the Local Heroes Award. I received a congressional recognition from our Congress. I received the police Man of Peace of the Year's Award. I also received other awards from lower television, because I actually started my TV program in 2002, which is called the African Hour, to educate the people about Africa. And most importantly, I've always thought that it is important. Why did I leave Cameroon? I leave Africa to come here for greener pastures, and how can I bring Africa with me and sensitize the people over here? So by so doing, I didn't go anywhere else but bring Bamenda to Lowell. So we did invite His Royal Highness the Fount of Mancon, was received only the first African to ever received by the city council, and made the honorary member of the city council. And also I followed with that to establish a transatlantic relationship between Bamenda and the city of Lowell. Officially, the mayor, the council contacted the government delegate of Bamenda, then Mr. Tata. They exchanged communications, and officially we cemented the sister city relationship between Lowell and Bamenda, and that is the reason why Lowell has stood the first state that has stood with Bamenda. So everything is about nurturing the relationship and bringing that aspect of ours from Africa and sharing it with the people here. Okay. So I think on that note, that I think that we Ambazonians all over the world, we can be ambassadors and of our fight. Take the fight to our struggle to educate the non-Ambazonians. We are the only ones who can do that, but very often I find that we in the diaspora spend a lot of time talking to ourselves instead of talking to non-Ambazonians. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Tata Nkimbeng, for that great presentation and introduction of yourself and telling us your activities out there. So we are just proudly Ambazonian. No more. No, what else can we say apart from that? I must equally on this note comment that you look really great. Just like myself, I think we are proud to tell anyone, anywhere that we are Ambazonian, aren't we? So one of the reasons for which we are here tonight, thank you very much for letting us know, and thank you for making Ambazonia known. Thank you for standing tall for Ambazonia. Somebody is already thanking you out there, And why not? We are looking forward to more from you as a senior citizen of Ambazonia. So that said, we would want to go now straight to business, Tata Nkimbeng. We Ambazonians of the northern zone of the Federal Republic of that country, this is a city or a part of the country which is known for its rich cultural heritage. And one of the most outstanding things that spice the cultural diversity of this region is the traditional regalia, popularly known as the Bamenda dress, or what we call country clothes. And this rare species of a dress is embellished with various designs like the gong, you have the star, you have the moon, the calabash, and what have you. So I would like you to first of all tell us, how do you call this traditional regalia in your language, either in the Mankan language or in Gemba, if it has got a general name? Let us know, how do you call that? And equally, let us know, what do these various designs on this traditional dress have some particular meanings?
Thank you, Comfort. Your wisdom is manifested in that question, but I would first of all also like to say that I don't really like that appellation Northern Zone, because it gives that negative spirit that La République put the knives amongst us and divided us to the Northern Zone and Southern Zone so that he can conquer our spirit. Having said that, this dress is mostly popular in the grass field area of Ambazonia, and in Mancon and mostly the Ngemba area, we call it toga. Toga, toga is really dignified in its majestic coloration, and I would say because of the majesty and then the beautiful and what it displays, it carries a lot of weight with it when you wear it on, and when you wear it, the way you walk command respect.
Okay. Yeah, so apart from that, we equally would like to know, I'm sure fellow Amazonians as well, like what I said this dress is a kind of a rare species that is found only in our region, and it is like embellished with various designs. You have the gong, you have the star and the moon. Do these various designs have particular meanings, or is just for the beauty?
Well, we know history is by our culture. History was handed out through storytellings and through images. And when you look at the traditional talk, and I would just tell you that the talk itself it varies depending on what part you are, because also there are certain which if you wear it, someone who knows culture will say that you come from this tribe or you come from this other tribe. So we the Ambazonians, when you see, you can really buy the dress and you can sort of guess what part of Ambazonia that person is. And to answer your question, yes, it conveys images and messages. For example, you talked about the gong. I have an example here.
Okay.
The essence, that's a symbol of a sense. It carries message. It communicates. So another one too. It has it carries a calabash. You see, those are symbols, and a drum, and those are part of our culture. And you see, culture is our identity, and it also represents that environment and the people, and it speaks volume.
Okay, thank you very much for that illustration, especially with the gong and just sounding it and making that sound of homeland, that nostalgic feeling again. So thank you for that piece. So that said, we would like equally to know this attire cannot be complete without the cap, the traditional cap or the hat that goes with it. And equally, you have various types of them. You have various designs of the caps or the hats that go with this design. with the dress. As some of the designs of both the cap and the dress combined together, as some of the designs reserved for notables in our society, in our community, for example, like the fonts or the compound head or something like that, as some particular designs reserved for the notables?
Well, definitely, I am not an expert in this field. I learn as I go along, and what I speak here should take it with a grain of salt, and knowing that this is a bush faller coming, trying to stay connected with my roots,
right,
and trying to and let the people can judge me whether I am really still connected. But I would like also to tell them that far away, I am still an Ambazonian and an African. So if I make any mistakes, it is a learning process.
right.
Yes, I forgot to even tell you that I am the son of Mankon's messenger. We call it in Komfo. Specifically, when you see the hat that I'm wearing, you see it has a red feather, and that if I can bend my head, you can see a red feather right up here. So that distinguishes people from ordinary people, and anyone who knows the culture. When you from someone's hat, you can be able to identify whether that person is a title holder or not. So the hat itself is not just worn ordinarily, but it sends a message.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good to know, and equally good to know that you are in Komfo. Yeah, like you rightly said, proudly Ambazonian. I think every Ambazonian should be proud of you. He just said it. He is a bush faller. He has been out here for as long as we can remember. But then if any Ambazonian is watching here, whether you are from Gemba or if anyone who is from the grass fields, and you have any contribution to what Tata Nkimbeng is telling us here about the country, the traditional regalia, the Bamenda dress or the togo, you are all welcome to drop your contributions to what it means and every interpretation you have about it, and we will be happy to share it with fellow Ambazonians and our televiewers. So thank you. Am I allowed, like, can I call you Ntumfo? Am I allowed to call you Ntumfo?
No, you can call me Tata Nkimbeng. That in itself.
Okay.
Tata Nkimbeng carries more weight than even if I were a doctor.
Okay.
It's more about it means that you are from clan. Tata is significant. You earn it through wisdom and through age.
Okay, all right. Thank you for letting me know. That was just a digression, but I really wanted to know and to be sure, so that one day I don't just meet you on the street and call you names, things I'm not supposed to go, because I know that our culture is so preserved in such a way that there are certain areas that are a no-go to a particular generation, particular sex, and we really want to respect it as such. So thank you for letting me know, and why not fellow Amazonians. So that said, yeah. So one of the things that is happening, though, that has been happening for the past couple of years, is that La République du Cameroon, for some reason, woke up one morning and realized the beauty, the rare beauty of this unique identity of ours, which they chose to carry it all over the place when they go out there for certain festivities like the Commonwealth Games or like mine. The Olympics, the Olympics and so on. La République du Cameroon chose, at some point they realized it's just dawned to them that how beautiful this piece of unique piece of cloth was, and they're taking it all over the place. Now that we are where we are, what message do you have in clear terms on behalf of Amazonia to send out to La République regarding the use of our copyright, especially without our permission, and especially that we can never accept to share it with them?
Beautiful question, wonderful question. In marketing, you pay to advertise yourself. But right now, I will call on Ambazonians that La République is honoring us and giving us that due respect and telling the whole world that they don't have a culture. So with that, we should only celebrate. Because if my memory serves me very well, you will see that most of them in Amazonian, we have always been the custodian of our culture. When I look back many years ago, you will see most of the politicians from Amazonia, specifically the venerable Dr. John Foncha, he always wear the toga. Premier Chua always wear toga. That shows that, and that was a symbol of Amazonia. If La Republique wear it, they are identifying that Amazonia is the true African. You see, we don't wear suit and we don't brag. That is our identity. An Asian will be very proud to wear their traditional wear. And if La Republique could carry our emblem, our traditional regalia around the world, shouldn't we celebrate it?
Okay.
You cannot, I am an ambassador, you cannot take that out of me. You can only want to become an Amazonian if that makes you important. Right. So to me, I would not really take offense of it. I would just say, La Republique is killing us, but they are complacent. You see, they have that complex that they would not acknowledge and respect that which is beautiful and powerful.
Okay. Yeah, because at some point I would be thinking that, okay, what happens if we find ourselves out there? Because Amazonia will not only remain in the revolution for our lives, at some point we are going to be free, we'll be represented at the United Nations, we'll also want to go for the Olympics and so on. What if both of us meet out there and they address the same like us and people confuse us between we Amazonians and La Republique de Cameroon, and they keep calling us Cameroon and things like that? How do we manage that?
Like a child, you don't take the second step before the first step. They are carrying our banner and they are killing us. You see, that shows that if someone is raising your flag, that is important to you.
Right.
As I am talking to you, I told you that I am a child of both worlds and I have both families. That's my culture. That's an African culture. When you see Americans or Europeans, they wear our regalia. When you see them in that regalia, what do you think of? You think of this is someone who is selling your culture. Isn't that a pride for you to, when you see an American or a British person wear your regalia, will you go and stop him from doing that? He is simply celebrating your culture, your beauty. So let it be. There's more important things.
Okay.
Right. That is so. Some people may disagree, but I say that our culture, no one can take your identity away from you.
That is true. Okay. Thank you for that piece of education. I think this is important. At times we just need to ponder over this together and figure out something, because we are still moving on, whether they wear the attire or not. So apart from that, apart from the typical Bamenda dress or the traditional regalia, we Amazonians in general are known for wonderful dressmaking. Like what you are wearing, like what I am wearing, like so much what we have out there. But it has not yet dawned to Amazonians what they have. They don't seem to realize what they have. That is why most Amazonians, if not all, we still think that formal dressing means you should wear the Western suit. So what education do you have for Amazonians regarding the consumption of home products, for example, like home dressing and things like that? So what education do you have for fellow Amazonians concerning that, given especially that we are in a revolution and we are in the course of changing our mentality and everything?
Another brilliant question. And if you look at it like a business person, you would say that if you say La République should not wear our traditional regalia, then you are putting our people who are the ones who are manufacturing those clothes at a disadvantage. Let us think big. When once they put this regalia on International World Forum, they make a market for us.
Yeah, Tata and Nkimbeng. My next question was this. Apart from the traditional regalia, we are laying that to rest. Now we are going to the fact that we Amazonians, we don't only have the togo and so on, but there is Amazonians are good at dressmaking, like what you are wearing, like what I am wearing, and the other varieties. But to Amazonians, we still think that formal dressing means wearing the Western suits instead of dressing like this. If I would dress like this on occasion, we don't think that we are formally dressed, because we think that formal dressing is the Western suit. So now we are in a revolution and we're in the process of changing, especially our mentality. What education do you have to give to Amazonians concerning the consumption of home products, including our own homemade clothes and things like that?
That's what I was trying to say, that when once we start wearing our traditional wear, you wear your kaba, I wear a casual dress. Who are those who are making those? They are our people, right?
Right.
You are indirectly creating employment to our people, right? And if we have a broader market for that, our people will have employment, and then they will have a market, and the demand will be high. So it's a question of demand and supply. And this, no offense to anyone, it depends on the individual. I will speak for myself. My name was originally Fru Anthony Nkimbeng. You know, when I reached America, I met this Italian professor. I asked me, I proudly said, my name is Anthony. He said, you Africans, you don't have names?
Ooh.
And then to me, there is a lot in a name. And from then, all my documents, I changed it through the Nkimbeng.
Right.
Fru being my name, being my father, Nkimbeng being the clan's name. That is my identity. So by so doing,
yeah,
you equally see on my show, as I mentioned to you, that I was traveling with the Commissioner of Police here in Boston all over. I always dress like an Amazonian. And that is one thing which he respected me. And I believe that was one thing which he took me with travel all along. Because I came, I was who I am, I represented and I dressed and like an African. So that in itself, we are, like I said, no offense to anybody.
right.
I am doing what I am comfortable at doing. I am who I am, and I am an African. And I think that to support your question, to wear a suit and to wear a traditional wear, it all depends on individual, and it all depends on the circumstance. But I would tell you that when I'm going official in seminar or what, I like to dress traditional, because in itself it gives me an opportunity for a dialogue, for people come up to me and ask, you look so beautiful. And that is breaking the ice. That's an indirect way of letting people know that you are there.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. I think that is big, and I know exactly what that means because myself, I equally I call my children. My children don't have any foreign names. They are called in my language because I know exactly what that means, and it's so nothing is more of an achievement to me than that. So we want to really preserve our own identity and be proud of who we are. I think that is what you are telling you want us to understand. So thank you for that one.
That to say, but it was a white man who turned that light on me.
I know. Okay. Yeah, thank God. Well, it is good that someone stepped on your toe and why not you realized yourself and went back to your roots. This is important. So thank you for being flexible and turning back to your roots, embracing it so tight. Why not? So that said, thank you once again, dear televiewers, for tuning in. We were just discussing about the rare species of a cultural attire known as a togo in the Ngemba land, or we call it in general terms the Bamenda dress. We were just looking at this piece of beauty of our cultural aspect, and we're discussing on that. And on this note, we are taking you now, Tata Nkimbeng, to the second part of the show, which is the revolution itself. So I just wish to know, just I think the same like fellow Amazonians, I want to take us a couple of days back, about it's almost 2 weeks now. In President Sarko's speech, he made a statement that the interim government, I'm coming back to this because there have been controversies on it and things like that. And there are times we say one thing and the next minute we forget it because of lots of distraction and some of those things. So President Sarko said in his speech a couple of weeks or about 2 weeks ago that the interim government, together with the Amazonia coalition team, are ready to face a ceasefire requested by the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres based on certain conditions. Can you once again explain to fellow Amazonians what this meant when they said they were ready for the ceasefire, and what are exactly these conditions that they want the United Nations and the rest of the international community to fulfill for us to be able to consider a ceasefire?
Well, Nimo Comfort, as I will say, you put me on the spot. I don't speak for the interim government, but I think that what the decision that they make, they have been debated by the cabinet. I think they have a lot of wisdom, and I believe in their wisdom, and I trust in their wisdom. But I would also say that when once someone has control of your land and is killing your people, who should announce a ceasefire? Is it La République that has the weapon, or the oppressor? So the interim government, if I can say, I think they have weighed those conditions and saying that it is really futile for the Secretary General to call on us, those who are being killed, to lay our arm. And what happened? The very day that that went around, did La République, when the lights are turned off, did La République not kill innocent brothers and sisters in the village?
Mm-hmm.
So if the Secretary General were really out to maintain peace and for ceasefire, I would rather think that they would send the UN peacekeeping force in Amazonia, so that they can be the eyes and the ears of the world to monitor what La République is doing. Is it not more or less like asking the wolf to watch over asking the wolf and the fox to watch over the sheep? So it's, I mean, as we are speaking right now, we don't even know what is happening on ground zero. I here in the comfort of my house, but my brothers and sisters, some are languishing in the forest at this moment.
Right.
God knows what is going on with some. They don't even know if they will live to see tomorrow. Then what kind of a ceasefire is that happening? They are talking about ceasefire. Is the international press, have the international press covered what is going on in Amazonia?
Mm.
So would they only come to talk about ceasefire when they have not told the world the massacre, the genocide, and the worst of all, what happened on Valentine's Day when the whole world is celebrating love and peace? Then La République, with a quote-unquote civilized army, what did they do? They killed, they massacre our people, not only our people, but our children, pregnant women. So that in itself doesn't really comfort me in any way by what he said. Are they hooks, or are they setting us a trap?
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think what I understand from your response is that even though they asked for this, they were asking the wrong people to do this. And on the other hand, again, while the United Nations is calling for ceasefire, Paul Biya, who declared war on us, is still busy in his business of slaughtering our people with impunity. So what is this supposed to mean to us Amazonians, especially those who don't yet have that feeling that something is really going wrong at home? What does this mean to our people?
Wonderful question. Sometimes I hate to question because I always look at life this way. Assuming that I for one, I lost my father and mother a long time ago. When they passed away, I and my sibling were mourning them in our different ways. One of my siblings or I will be screaming and crying aloud. The other sibling would just sit and not say anything. Does that mean that that one who doesn't say anything doesn't love the parent or mourn them? Who am I to judge? Who am I to tell the person who is not screaming and rolling and that he's not mourning the they are doing it in their own way. So all I can call and ask all of us is that just like in the village, where I grew up, when someone's house is on fire, you see everyone will come. Those who come with small buckets, those who come with small calabashes, big buckets of water, they will extinguish it. So I call on Ambazonians, mostly particularly us out here in the diaspora. We should do more and add on what we are doing. Set our hands into our pockets and see how we can support our brothers and sisters on ground zero, because they are paying the ultimate price. You see, but most often we in the diaspora, we are like the cricket that stands on the hill and call death to come and kill us. We talk too much, and we talk to ourselves, not talking to the countries, to our friends and the countries that are hosting us, that they could help us. But this is my frustration. Ambazonians in the diaspora, you should be able to demonstrate and tell the people on ground zero that you have rallied your neighbors to feel their pain.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. On this note, I will just turn around to say somebody is addressing you here directly. I think you would like to know. This is Anastasia Akere says, Tata Nkimbeng, we need your number, please. We need you for doing fundraising for our LGAs. So you may respond. You may want to let them know whether you like to give them their phone number or not. And yeah, so
I would say that a wonderful Nimo. I have made videos in Mancon and in Gemba.
All right.
I have said that calling on the sons and daughters of Amazonia, not to criticize anyone and not to blame some, because what happens is we spend time throwing stones at our brothers and sisters instead of throwing the stone at the enemy. You see, because when brothers and sisters fight, what happens? The enemy gets away with the jewel, the prize. Exactly. And that is what we in the diaspora are good at. Saying this person has done this person has done this. What has anything that has been done cannot be undone. It can only work to improve it. It is a learning for us to move forward. But Ambazonians in the diaspora are stuck into the past and bring the past to actually stop them from looking forward and giving Tabia an opportunity while our people on ground zero are paying with their limbs, with their life. They are bleeding, they are in the forest, women are dying, there's no health care, but we are out here insulting each other and giving each other name. I am just short of what I wonder what I can whether I can really look at my brothers and sisters on ground zero and tell them that I came out in America or in the diaspora to be fighting amongst ourselves. Right. I would rather be talking to Americans to tell them that this is my people are suffering. How can you help? And I have done that so well. When I organized a peace rally here in Lowell, it is the mayor of Lowell who holds the Ambazonian flag.
Okay, I think yes. I'm going to give you time in a minute. I will give you time to explain more on those activities, especially in Lowell, because these are the type of things that we really need to know. But before we go to that, let's lay that to rest for now. In the next minute, we are coming back to that again. So, because I want to go back to something you just said. You rightly said, in order for us to execute this war that was actually forced upon us by our neighbor, it takes a huge price to pay, like blood, like lives, like homes, and what all our people are going through, and why not financially? And so far, we realize, for example, that the LGA by LGA is a way of getting people to contribute to fund this revolution in the fastest and easiest way we can. So what form of encouragement do you have for fellow Amazonians, those who are already contributing and those who have not started to contribute yet? Because the honest truth is that we need to pay for it. Others, especially those at home and in Nigeria, are paying already very dearly. Others have started paying and others have not started yet. What message, what advice do you have for them now?
Komfo, you're doing such a wonderful job. We Amazonians should speak of each other positively. We have to communicate and we have to educate, we have to sensitize. If we are on this show, if I'm giving you names and accusing you, no matter how human you are, you will be turned off. You see, but what I have realized is people, instead of explaining, humbling themselves, they like to use the microphone as an instrument to bully others. You see, this conversation that we are having, it's very, very important, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would remind everyone that the man with the microphone is as dangerous, more dangerous than the man with a gun, because you can sensitize and educate people, and also to do what they normally would not do by how you address them, you respect them. You see, everyone in this fight, what is affecting us in Amazonia is like the coronavirus that's affecting the whole world. There is no Amazonian who can escape that he has not suffered since that war was declared on us. And I beg on all Amazonians and those who have the holy pulpit and the microphone to humble themselves and sensitize, spend more time trying to build consensus and explaining the good job that they are already doing than spending precious time on negative things. That only turns people off, and that is what many people have told me.
Right. No, that is true. I think you are very right, and I'm happy that this is coming from you, and hoping that you equally spoke to someone. Thank you for being there to encourage us and encouraging that we encourage one another because we are already stretched enough. So thank you. So in an effort to engage and encourage our people in the diaspora to educate like foreigners about the plight of our people in Amazonia, what are you doing in Lowell that others can really emulate?
More comfort. We are doing a little things wherever we are. Where you are doing a lot too. And I would also encourage this media to be able to do what you are doing, not only focus on what I am doing, but any little thing that any Amazonian is doing somewhere that can inspire people. They should focus on the positive part, and you would see that would be very contagious. So that said, we ask ourselves, why did we leave Amazonia and come abroad? Is because we wanted greener pastures.
Right.
And another question is, when you are in Amazonia, when the white man, the Chinese, when they come there, who helped them succeed? They depend on Amazonian on the ground to help them succeed. Because Amazonian on the ground know the terrain, they know the connection, they can be the bridge. Just for example, if you were to go to the Mancon Palace, you cannot just walk in and see the phone. You have to go through whom we call a messenger or what we call Nchinda. And then if we are in America, why can't we use that same psychology and befriend our neighbor who is a white man and bring him to us? When he gets to know us better, he will now feel our pain. But don't just go up to him and tell them that Amazonia is at war. No. First of all, like for example, in where you are, know your city hall. Go there and just visit. Someone is saying you, even though some people may think that is time wasted, you are building your own network. You are seeing how they are running their own government. You are also learning skills that if we go now to Amazonia, we will be able to bring what we have brought from outside to make, right? And then you will know who is the councillor, who is the mayor, who is running for office, Then another thing is, if you know who's running for office, like here in America, you can write a support of $5 to support candidates who's running for city council, who's running for mayor, who's running for Congress. That your $5 is planting a seed. Because your name will be in the records that you are active. Then when tomorrow, if that happens, if that candidate wins, you have an ally, right?
Okay.
If you call that candidate that you are coming to see him, that candidate knew that you are active in the community. You can vote. Even people who cannot vote, you can help someone in their campaign. You can distribute flyers. You can go knock door. You can hold a sign. But you are sowing the seed. So much that politics is you scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Okay.
And everyone is local. So tomorrow when you call someone to come and see them, they already know you. They will open the door for you because they see that you are a voter. They can benefit from you. But what the more comfort, what aches me is that we feel that We can call a senator and go and take a picture with that senator or with the governor and send out there and think that our struggle. It is not going to help our struggle.
I know.
Politics is scratch my back, I scratch your back. These politicians are asking you, what is in it for me? They are looking, but at the next election, can I be able to get your vote? And if you have demonstrated that, if they see that your block is not a voting block, they will give you all the letters and everything, but you will be stand at one spot and be marking time. So in fairness, I would say that I would also maybe challenge and throw this in the legs on the feet of all the current government feet to the fire. That they should come up with a strategy, a plan of action for all the Amazonians around the world. That if you are in America, use the American system to be able to connect with the American people, so that you build your own power base. If you are in India, if you are in China, if you are in Latin America, even if you are in Africa,
right,
you should be able to do that. To your surprise, if you look one of my videos, I made a presentation at the National Park here last month. They always back full with Africans. I asked them, do they know what is going on in Amazonia? None of them said no. That was the first time they were hearing it. But I have equally attended Komfo. You would see that this is sad. I have attended conferences that Amazonians have organized. When I go to this conference, 95% or 99.9% are Amazonian. We organize these conferences in America, in England, in France, in wherever. But we talk to ourselves. And yet, we say the world doesn't listen to our cry. It is the patient that goes out looking for a doctor, not the doctor back to your house.
Wow, thank you. I think if this question did not come up, we would almost have not learned something. This is so important because I'm just seeing myself even in it. Last year we had a cultural jamboree here, but all you saw all over the place was the Togo, was the Rapa, the Kaba, and so on, and the same skin color, just like you are saying. But we are learning every day. It's a learning process. I believe that every Amazonian sitting here wants to stand up now and start thinking differently. So thank you so much for this enlightenment. And I think these are the type of things that are actually helping to take our revolution to the next level. You have been regularly talking, making reference to your videos, to your shows, and so on. I think there is this one thing about you that you have not yet told Amazonians. You told us so much about yourself at the beginning of the show, apart from the fact that you apparently are someone who has a lot to do sitting behind the camera like I'm doing here. So what kind of shows do you run? What kind of people do you talk to, and what do you discuss with them on your shows? Let us know. What is your platform? YouTube, Facebook, TV, or what? Let's know, please.
Nimo, Komfo, thank you again. And let me go back to what I was saying. That when you do just what I explained, you are building security for yourself. Because when you are in the diaspora, in the neighborhood that you are, if you are involved in your church, if you volunteer in a non-profit organization, you volunteer, they are not paid for, people are looking at you. And who are those who work in non-profit organizations? Most of them are CEO, retired CEOs of companies or so. You see, you find yourself to understand the society well because you are connected to people who have connections. You can through that, you can easily get a job. And God forbid, anything bad happens for you, the people will be able to stand up and defend you. So you, by doing what you are doing for Ambazonia, you're going out there and build those networks, you are at the same time advertising yourself, equipping yourself with skills and building relationships. So it is a win-win situation. Instead of us Amazonians insulting each other, throwing stones at each other, once you've gone out there like that, you meet Ambazonian, great minds discuss ideas. Not so great minds talk about other people. So coming back to your question, what was it, please?
Yeah, I was just wondering because you have talked a lot about your shows, your videos, and so on. So, which sounds to me like you are someone behind a camera person, like myself here, I would say. So, what are the kind of shows that you run? Who are your type of audience, and what do you discuss with them? What is your What are your platforms? YouTube, TV, radio, or what?
Well, very, very important to more comfort. One thing is, if you should develop the aspect of if you are a visionary, see something 2 years down the line and sow the seed now.
Right.
Yes. I started my video. I have almost around 300 videos out there. I started in 2000 before our struggle. I initiated the sister city relationship before our struggle. You see? So in Lower, my show is the African Hour. When I started, there was nothing on TV about Africa. Okay, so what I did was I walked into the mayor's office and told him that, Mr. Mayor or Madam Mayor, your function is to tell my constituent, my community, the immigrant community, what your does, what services you have in your office. So my role is to interview you so that you speak to them.
As we listen to our senior comrade round up. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Thank you and welcome back.
Thank you. The gods of telecommunication has restored itself. Thank you very much. What I was saying is, you always have look forward and try not for people to know what your plans are. Yeah. So I was the first person in law when 911 happened. I walked into the commissioner of police office and told him that, you know what, this has happened. People in my community are scared. They cannot go out. The Muslims and Africans, they are scared. So I would like you to get a live show, and so that they can call you and they will ask you questions and you calm their fears. The commissioner of police was very happy, and that was the first live show that happened in Lowell, and people were very, very happy. So to get back to since 2000, I've interviewed the superintendent of schools, the chief of police, the mayor, and all these people. I make sure that I utilize that service to inform and educate, because we, as in this media, our function is to inform the public and not to bully the public.
Exactly.
You see, we should be able to use this media to inform, educate, and humble ourselves. Any person who holds the microphone and an Ambazonian, you come on the air and use insulting language against another person, you are tarnishing our struggle. And the white people who support me here, they tell me that, and even some of the councillors, they say, when we listen to what your people write and say, I have worked so hard for my reputation. I cannot put my reputation on the line coming close to you as I did before. And I hope that the people who are out in the diaspora, in the comfort of this wonderful country in America that people died so much for us to come here and take it for granted and use that as a platform to be insulting each other. We should learn from it that we are I would say, excuse my language, we are a disgrace to the struggle. If you go on the air and start insulting another person, you can be angry, but send a peaceful, they know us that we are peaceful people, and you can call a person behind and vent your anger. It will be between you and that person. Let's not be making a fool of ourselves in public and the whole world look at us as being premature. We were the first democracy in Africa, and we should lead by example.
Right.
I think, may I say that most this behavior is a behavior that anyone who was part of La République, that is what we inherited.
Wow.
Because our forefathers in southern Cameroon, former West Cameroon, British Cameroon, were very humble. When you look at Dr. Ende, you listen to even Honorable Shamofo, Foncha. These guys will disagree, but you never see them on the air insulting each other. What kind of a species are we? And this insult is coming to people that claim to have traveled around the world. They use that instead of the people on the ground, because of our culture, because of everything, they are more humble. We have a lot to learn from them. Just because they got the plane and cross the ocean doesn't make us any better than them, that we can talk down on them. They are the ones to teach us because they are the custodians of our culture. That's what we started with.
Wow.
And our culture is, we have to humble ourselves.
Wow, this was a powerful message to every Amazonian. I am just happy people are reacting to this, and you see sad faces and so on, because I hope that that's a sign of regret, it's a sign of remorse, and I hope that someone heard you speak, and I hope that someone is going to change at this point, because there's no longer room for jokes and throwing stones at each other, just like you said. I really thank you so much for this piece of information or message or advice to fellow Amazonians. And that said, we are gradually drawing towards the end of this show. Fellow Amazonians, I will first of all apologize that today, like you can see, Tata Nkimbeng is speaking over the phone. So there's not going to be a possibility for us to ask questions. We are not going to open the lines because it is not going to be possible. That said, if you have a quick question, you can just post it here on the comment section, and if I'm able to pick it up, I will read it so that he can answer one or two questions. But before someone posts a question, Tata Nkimbeng, I'm going to give you the last few minutes to use this time now, and in a few words, you are going to speak, because it is a tradition of county roots. We are touching our roots. We are going down to the roots. We make sure we reach out to everybody. So we believe that speaking to someone in their language means speaking directly to their hearts. You are Komfo. I hope I called it well. You are the messenger of the King of Mankon, and there is no way you will leave from here without saying at least a word of greetings back to one of the Mafos out there back home in Mankon. And equally, if you find something very important, you want to articulate it in Pidgin, just make a recap of what you find important for Amazonia to take home. This opportunity is for you to speak on one side in Pidgin, and then at least something in the language that you best you can speak best or you understand best. Thank you.
The more comfort, I would say the wisdom is yours for inviting me on your show. You've given me a platform to talk to our people, and I come across as a humble servant.
Sure. I
learn every day, and shows like you is for us to exchange ideas. And I would call on all Amazonians that it's only through conversation, communication, that we can better understand each other. And having said that, Marangama Matati Ngemba, Manzong, Ambazonia, and Nimo Comfort. When I speak, all Bamenda here.
Sure.
We have Ben, Chomba, Songwa, the whole of
Ngemba. I know Ngemba. I grew up in Bamenda, so I know Ngemba. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So in Ngemba, Manzong, Ambazonia, I want to name through Nkimbeng, Komfo. My yen bonnet, the shipina, and Tata one tanker, and don't tell me a call. The Alani and young bonnet, I am I'm for Easter win. Go smell on Holy Friday, Holy Saturday, Zombie Easter. Go angry a call. I bumped a winner. If all winner, want some. Go bugna, I bugna Tata time here. And I need the bonnet to bone and I ban it on a genda, Maka. Don't tell me some go bamitum. Ane written wama ngala song na ye ngang if we la song na ye. So I don't know Nkimbeng and also ane sugumbo mga nkancha adansa nwiye nga no gomena na mbani chana na nga bieta me chambie. Brothers and sisters, at the Komfo, my name na through Nkimbeng, I'll be Komfo Mancon, messenger for fun of Mancon. But me, I know the talk now in the capacity of fun of Mancon. I talk like a subject, and I talk like Ambazonia, and also at the great winner. At the great winner said this time when we did so, a very very tough moment. So sick way they go out now. We all everybody they now cry. And now the time for now Holy Saturday is tomorrow, now Easter Sunday. So as we celebrate, so I call on everyone, may try for follow instruction them. Any native doctor there with them, any medicine where you see and say if you help, we don't help your brother, share that information. Because this thing where it is now, so nobody know anything that for God hand, and may we make sure say may we wash we hand and stay for house for this kind of time when it goes. So I glad too much and I say may we put we hand them for God hand. So Comfort.
Yes, sir.
To actually talk about this coronavirus, I just have about 4 words to describe it. It is discipline, indiscipline, arrogance, and ignorance. The discipline of the Asians and the Chinese has saved so many lives. We see it. The indiscipline of the Europeans, we see what is going on in Europe. And the arrogance of Americans, you can see it. It is terrible here. Just today, I and my wife, we went and did our test and we were negative.
Oh, thank God for that.
And then we were in the car waiting for the results. So my wife told me that what if one of us is negative, positive? She said that if then we'll drop the other person in out of the car, then he or she would find it. So having brought that little humor, I would say that you see the arrogance of America has taken up more than close to 20,000 lives. But I am very, very afraid that the ignorance of Africans will destroy our continent and open it for the Western world to use us as guinea pigs. We should be very, very careful.
Yeah. Okay. Before you finally leave, you want to talk this last one where you talk say arrogance. We like for broke and small because Mama and Papa they want to hear from you. So considering say me and you dey for here, you be first born now, so they will hear from you more pass even me. When you say ignorance for Africa, I will take guinea pig and so on. Which advice you give mama and papa them about coronavirus? You dey talk na say wetin before we finally
Well,
close.
my sister, I told me say, how do you talk? Say, first of all, humble yourself, like the Chinese and the Asians. They have their own people. But person where it show skin, say it not too much, like thing where they go for Europe. They, if you see how where people they die for them, a man where they show over Sabi, like we were there for America. So you see how people they die. And my own thing that say, we own people, my brothers and sisters on the ground. We always act like say we know, with the close with eyes, with the close with ears, and we know the list. And that one, that ye it will kill we. So we say, I say, anything we when I see, I'm say white man bring up. May we not know, may we not take time over. Because any medicine we white man make up, some of them they can't go see now. Na old papa inside bush for village. They will show you that grass. That grass that can then make medicine. They will listen to we own papa, doctor, native doctors, they feed one. Because they know some grass will feed where they feed make them, and if he help we. And may we open with eye. May we listen to advice. Because this one it make us so some people they will use them now for make money. So I recall my sister, my papa they there for ground zero. They will not take an one day at a time or softly, and they will not eye open. They always talk for man and say we for your eye, like grass and leaves. So as we go, may we put with ear and may we put with eye and when we see them, may we talk.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Tata Nkimbeng. It was such a pleasure and a blessing having you here tonight. And I think every Amazonian who was listening to you must have been blessed. You would have learned one or two things. You would have taken one message home. Like some of the things you said, I actually wrote them down. You said when brothers and sisters fight, the enemy gets away with the jewel. You said the man with the microphone is more dangerous than the man with the gun. So all of those things, I hope that you spoke to someone, and I hope that we are going to learn and move on together, because homeland is free, or homeland is imminent, homeland is sure, it depends on us. That is what I got from you in a nutshell. So thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. And all right, okay.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
You know, our this is peace, work, fatherland. That's La Republic, peace, work, fatherland. Unfortunately, there is no peace. There is no land, and the father is not in the land. Well, how can we justify that? I hope on that note, Ambazonians should rally together and defend our fatherland.
Wow, that's a big one. Thank you very much once again. Thank you, senior comrade. That was a great one you left us with, and that is much wisdom. I learned a lot. I don't know about others. So we just want to let you know that this platform is open, and we are ready to have you here as many times as you are ready to come and talk to us. So Amazonians need a big brother and a father like you to come here all the time, because we are blessed having you. Thank you to dear televiewers. Thank you, fellow Ambazonians, for your time and patience. And we wish you all a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend as we we'll meet the resurrection of Christ tomorrow morning, God willing. Thank you and goodbye.
Hail this land of glory, we Ambazonians, special loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom, and let the soul of heroes who fought along the yard. Glory we rise and never to fall. Hearing a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.